Okay, good morning. Welcome to
FamilyMath number 987.
FamilyMath 987. So today we're going to relook at the problem, what was called the simple economy, where we started with 500 people and they each had $100.
Yep.
And each person got, at every round, they randomly chose someone else. In fact, actually, the way I've set it up, they could even choose themselves, but they picked among the 500 people at random and gave somebody $1.
Okay.
And then, do you remember how this evolved over time? Here's our code.
So a lot of people, like the average number, like wealth of people went down. Like of the bottom, 50% like went down. As you can see, there's a lot of people below the starting amount. But then there are also a lot of super rich people, like even people that have.
So it starts out pretty evenly distributed. Correct. There we go. There's one of the early rounds.
Yep.
There's the distribution, you can see. Actually, I can even make it go earlier than that. But then, as the number of simulations grows, and I have it growing to 50,000 simulations actually, you can see that some people are having as much as $400.
And some people are down to. Well, actually, nobody's reached this zero. Actually, is that the scale? So yeah, I think people are around zero.
A lot of people can down zero now. It looks like we're about 40,000 simulations, and people have
$500.
Some people have $500.
They just get lucky.
Yeah. And then after 50,000, so here we have someone who has over 500, and we've got a lot of people who have next to nothing.
Yep.
Now, one thing I thought would be interesting. So this was my change to this. Well, actually, do you remember what change we made that kept everybody nice and all near the mean the whole time?
So instead of giving $1, they give 1% of their wealth.
Yeah. And so I thought it would be fun to see what happened if instead of starting everybody out the same, I started them out like this. A really skewed distribution.
See if they came back to normal.
And then you gave everybody 1% of your wealth, or you gave random people 1% of your wealth. What do you think happens when I do that simulation? So instead of starting with all the same money, everybody's at 100, I start out with the 500 people with this distribution of money. And instead I start simulating where everybody gives just 1% of their wealth.
I think it'll actually come back together because the people with $500 are giving $5 every time. Okay. And on average, they should be receiving a lower amount of money. So it'll go down, and the poorer people will go up.
All right. So here's my code. You can see this time the gift they give is 1% of their net worth on the previous round. And then here's what happened when I did that. So I started with that distribution, and then I let it run. And so what are you seeing happening?
This mass of people is moving away from zero, and there are no people with 500 anymore. They all steadily went down.
Yeah.
No,
so it happens very quickly. So now you can see our range here is going, here's 80, here's 160. It's still a little skewed.
Yeah.
But very quickly.
It gets very close. So now it's between 80 and 120.
Yeah. And then once it gets there, it stays.
It stays around there.
So it's not just that the starting with everybody having the same money and the 1% gifts keeps everybody together. Actually, if you start with a very uneven distribution of money, it brings everyone together, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So what I'd like you to do is think about what experiment you'd like to run with this simulation. And then maybe if you think for a little bit off camera, we'll come back and I'll have you tell us what we're going to do, and then we'll code it up and run it and see what happens. Okay? All right.